Hey everyone, it's me Lone here with the Fallout 76 video, and today, the time of this recording, a brand new update went live in Fallout 76. Specifically, it is update 31 for, of course, October. And in today's video, I want to show you some of the biggest changes that were made by this update. So if you enjoy this video, please like it. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, with notifications if that's possible. But with all that out of the way, let's get to the content. Okay, we're in the game, and as I said, we're only going to be covering the biggest changes introduced by the October update. So if you do want to see the full patch notes, they are linked in the description below. So the first change has to do with the Facebreaker. This is a uniquely named legendary weapon that was introduced by Steel Rain. If you completed the requisite quest in Steel Rain, you got a free version of the Facebreaker. However, if you wanted to craft it later on, you needed to play Daily Ops and have it drop as a rare reward. So I haven't actually done that yet, but eventually I'll get it, and then I'll be able to craft Facebreakers later on, and then maybe destroy this one if I wanted to save on stash space for whatever reason. But there's a reason why I haven't destroyed this one yet, and that's because pretty much, I think it was immediately after Steel Rain, the crafting of Facebreakers were disabled because there was an issue with them. But now, thanks to this latest update, that has been resolved. So if you do have the plan for the Facebreaker after doing Daily Ops, you will now be able to craft them again at your weapons workbench. I still don't have the plan, mind you, but if you did have the plan, it would appear in blunt melee weapons, and then you can craft it again. And that's specifically going to require 2 legendary modules now, so that is a nice change. The second update also has to do and is related to crafting legendary items, including weapons, armor, and power armor pieces. So specifically, the patch notes say that progress will now be saved after crafting a legendary item at a workbench. And my understanding of this change is that when you craft a particular legendary item, it's going to save your character's progress such that, let's say your game crashes or you get kicked or something happens where you need to join the game again, your progress should have been saved after the point of crafting, so you should still have that freshly crafted legendary item, again, whether it's a weapon, armor piece, or a power armor piece. I believe before the October update, if you crafted a new legendary item and you had one of those issues like a crash, for instance, and you loaded back into the game, there was a chance that the progress of your character would have been reverted to a previous save where you hadn't crafted that particular legendary item yet. So now that should be resolved and hopefully reduces the instances where you're losing out on a particular legendary item that you crafted that hopefully was a really good legendary item. So that is definitely a nice change in that regard. The third change has to do with the legendary effect Auto Stim. This is an effect where it automatically, and I'll show you the effect so I can read it out verbatim. It automatically uses a stim pack when you're hit and while your health is 25% or less once every 60 seconds. So this is a decent legendary effect beforehand, in particular if you're a full health build. And the reason why I say full health is because there was actually an issue if you're a bloodied build where, because as you know, as a bloodied build, your health is below 20% health, right? But you have all those rads pushing down your health. According to your character, you still have full health per se, right? You just have a lot of rads that, meaning your health can't go above that point, but you're still full health in that sense. However, there was an issue with the Auto Stim effect where it would perceive you as not having full health, and it would automatically use a stim pack when you had all those rads, and even though your health was full, it would automatically use a stim pack the moment that you equipped an Auto Stim legendary piece of armor. But now that has pretty much been fixed so that Auto Stim legendary armor no longer uses a stim pack automatically, specifically if a highly radiated player's available health is full. So let me demonstrate this to you right now. As you can see, my available health is full, right, in that sense of the word. So when I swap to Auto Stim, it shouldn't automatically use a stim pack and effectively waste a stim pack as soon as I swap over. So let's have a look. So as you can see, it didn't use anything. I didn't get the sound effect. I can swap between them and I'll show you how many stim packs I have. 38 super stim packs, right, and no other ones. So if I go back to the unyielding one, for instance, and then I go back to auto stim, I'm still going to have 38 stim packs. So that is really nice that that issue has been resolved, because it just makes auto stim armor a bit more practical if you're using it as a bloody user. Whether or not you would want to use it or not, because there's a perk card called Born Survivor, which has a very similar effect, it is up to you. But now at the very least, it's not impractical to be using auto stim legendary armor pieces as a bloodied user, which is nice. So change number 4 that was introduced by the October update has to do with the Death's Breath Flamer skin. And let me show you that right now. I have it equipped. This is one of the, I would say it's people's favorite in terms of at least weapon skins introduced recently. Really cool weapon skin. I can show you it on the screen right now. It looks freaking awesome, right? But there was one issue with this weapon skin where if you're like me and you play the game in first person, you see like the rebar, the bars, the metal bars that pop out of the weapon right now. Beforehand, those were massive. Like, it would cover up a significant portion of your screen. And I distinctly remember I was streaming one day and someone was like to me, I wish those metal bars were reduced in size, because that would literally make the perfect skin for the flamer. And now, as you can see, the bars have been reduced significantly in size, so you can now see properly again when you're playing in the first person and using this particular skin. So the patch note specifically says that it shortened the rebar on the Death's Breath Flamer skin to reduce the amount of screen space it takes up when playing in the first person view. So now you can use the Death's Breath, it's a tongue twister, you can now use this weapon skin when you're using a flamer and still be able to view the game, properly in first person. So that is really nice quality of life change that was introduced by the October update. The next update, or the next change, was to do with explosive bait. So there was an issue before with explosive bait and PvP. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of it. It's something that I, never encountered because I don't engage in PvP that often. However, it actually, before this update, using explosive bait would actually mean that a person could effectively force PvP upon another. So the fix, what it does is it fixes an issue that caused players to take damage from explosive bait when they were not currently engaged in PvP combat with the player who threw it. So now that is no longer an issue. So hopefully it means that when people are trying to troll you effectively with explosive bait, that it no longer actually causes you damage and therefore engages you in PvP when you don't want to be engaged in PvP. So that is a nice change introduced by this update too. The next change, I have to go all the way here because this is the only place that I could plant or place a survival tent. But this is the Abandoned Shack survival tent. And this is a very small update, but I'm sure people are appreciating it. This was available recently in the Atomic Shop, I believe. And this Abandoned Shack had a scrap box, which was nice, but the scrap box was flipped around. It was the wrong way around. Now it is the correct way around. So you can use this particular survival tent skin and use the scrap box and have it actually, look correct. So that is another nice change for this update. The next change has to do with the Park Ranger skin, the power armor skin. Now let me hop into this right now with my excavator. Power armor. Best power armor in the game. I'm going to keep saying that. There was an issue with the Park Ranger skin where, again, similar to the Flamer skin, it was taking up too much of your screen. So now, when you're using heavy weapons specifically, it reduces the amount of screen space taken up by the Park Ranger power armor's forearms, specifically when you're wielding a heavy weapon like a Gauss minigun or 50 cal, etc., etc. And specifically, of course, in the first person view. A lot of these issues are caused when you're in the first person view, especially because the field of view is pretty small. So now it's consistent with other power armor. So let's say I equip, I want to change to the Gauss minigun, for instance. Now the forearms aren't so big and obstructing your view when you're in first person. Now it's similar to other power armors, so there's a bit of consistency in that regard. So that's another nice small change introduced by the October update. The last change has to do with double mutations for daily ops. So as you know, I'll pull up the daily op menu. Unfortunately, there isn't double mutations currently going on in Fallout 76 right now. But as you know, with double mutation weekends for daily ops, effectively the idea is anyways, is that it offers you double the amount of rewards. And when it offers you double the amount of rewards, you would get double the amount of currency, right? And I'll show you what that looks like on the screen right now. But there was an issue before, or at least a misconception, where it would seemingly offer you halved initial currency rewards and then double that amount and quote unquote pretend, or kind of fake like it's actually giving you double the amount of rewards. This was always a visual flare. It was never actually operating like this. But now and I can't show you it right now because again, we don't have a double mutation weekend yet. But now, double currency rewards no longer appear halved in the operation report after completing a double mutation daily op. So what this means is that it's no longer going to show a particular amount of currency that you're getting, which might have been like a 12.5 or a 13.5, something like that, a 0.5, and then double that amount and show you what the amount you are getting. It's no longer going to do that. It's just going to show you the doubled amount that you get, or the final amount that you get after doing the double daily op. And how this actually works, because people ask me about it and they're confused. How this actually works is that it's not offering you double the amount of script or currency that you would normally get. It's actually letting you have 2 goes at getting script in a double mutation daily op. So it's not just like, let's say you get 10. It's saying you get 10 and now you get 20 because it's doubled. It's actually saying you have 1 go and you might have got 9 in that 1 go, and then you have another run and you might have got, let's say 15 script in that, and therefore your amount is those 2 combined together. So it's not actually double, even though it says it's double. It's actually, you get multiple chances or multiple kind of goes, I guess, at getting currency or currency reward. So it's not double, it's 2 individual ones that are combined together. I hope that makes sense. I know I babbled a little bit, but that was the change that was introduced by the October update when it comes to double mutation daily ops. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get to the conclusion. Alrighty, Raceenders, that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.